My dear friend, there's something you need to hear, something that cuts deep and demands your attention. There's a shadow in your life, someone who moves with a quiet purpose, slipping through your days with a mask of kindness. They're not just a passerby or a fleeting acquaintance, they're a storm, gathering strength in secret, waiting for the perfect moment to unleash chaos. I'm not here to frighten you, but to open your eyes. This person, this shadow, is closer than you realize, and they carry something dangerous, something designed to pull you down, to dim the light you fought so hard to keep burning. You're probably asking yourself, who could this be? What have they done to earn such a warning? Why am I speaking with such fire in my voice? Let me be clear, this isn't about fear, it's about truth. This shadow, this person, doesn't want you to hear these words. They don't want you to see the trap they've set. But you're here, listening, and that alone is a crack in their carefully laid plan. So stay with me. Give me your next few minutes, because what I'm about to reveal will shift the way you see everything around you. Let's step back to a moment that started it all, just yesterday, as the sun dipped below the horizon. Picture this, the city was alive with its usual hum, but this person, this shadow, was moving fast, their steps sharp and deliberate. Their eyes darted, scanning every corner, every face, as if they feared being seen. In their hands, they clutched a small, worn notebook, its edges frayed, held tight against their chest like a treasure they couldn't afford to lose. They weren't heading to a familiar place, not a friend's house or a cozy cafe. No, they were drawn to a hidden corner of the city, an alley where the streetlights flicker and the shadows stretch long. There, in the dim glow, someone was waiting. Not a friend, not a stranger, but someone with a purpose carved into their expression. Their face was hard, their eyes cold, as if they'd been rehearsing this moment for weeks, maybe months. The air was heavy, thick with unspoken tension. The shadow handed over the notebook, their hands trembling just enough to betray their nerves. Words were exchanged, low, hurried, almost swallowed by the night. That notebook wasn't just paper and ink. It was everything, the key to a plan that could shake your world to its core. What was in that notebook? I'll get to that, but first, you need to understand why this matters. It wasn't filled with random notes or meaningless scribbles. It was a weapon, carefully crafted, packed with secrets meant to wound you. Secrets about you, moments you thought were safe, vulnerabilities you shared in trust, mistakes you believed were long buried. This shadow, this person you thought you knew, has been collecting these pieces of you, bit by bit, waiting for the right moment to turn them against you. I know this is heavy. You might be wondering, why would someone do this? Who could be so close, yet so cruel? The truth is hard to swallow. This isn't a stranger lurking in the distance. This is someone you've let into your life, someone who's shared your laughter, listened to your dreams, maybe even held your hand through tough times. They've been right there, by your side, all while hiding a blade behind their smile. That notebook? It's their blueprint, their map to unravel everything you've built. But here's the truth they didn't expect: you're stronger than their schemes. You're tougher than their betrayal. The moment you hear these words, their plan starts to crumble, because I'm here, shining a light on what they've tried to keep hidden. So don't turn away. Stay with me, because we're about to peel back the layers and expose the rest. Let's go deeper. The person waiting in that alley wasn't just anyone. They're someone who's been watching you, studying your every move, waiting for a chance to strike. They're not your friend, though they might wear that mask. They're the one who's been sowing seeds of doubt, whispering lies in corners you'd never suspect, turning people against you in ways so subtle you didn't notice. When they opened that notebook, their eyes didn't just light up, they burned with a dark satisfaction. Because inside were the tools they needed to tear down everything you've worked for. What was inside? Not money, not jewels, but something far more dangerous. It was your story, your struggles, your fears, the mistakes you thought were locked away. Every moment you shared in confidence, every scar you thought had healed, was written in those pages. They've been watching you, collecting every detail, turning your trust into a weapon. And they handed it to someone who's been waiting to use it against you, someone who's been plotting, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. This is why I'm speaking to you now, why my voice carries this urgency. I won't let this shadow win. I won't let their plan succeed. You're not alone, and you're not defenseless. The truth is your shield, and I'm here to place it in your hands. So take a deep breath, and let's keep moving forward, because the next part is where the tide begins to turn. This shadow, this betrayer, isn't a stranger hiding in the dark. They're someone you've trusted, maybe even loved. They've sat with you, shared your dreams, promised to stand by you through thick and thin. But behind their words, they were weaving a different story, a plan to pull you down, to make you question your worth, to break the spirit that makes you who you are. They smiled while they worked, hid their intentions behind kind gestures, and all the while, they were gathering pieces of you to hand over to those who wish you harm. But they didn't count on this. You're not fragile. You're not a glass that shatters at the first touch. You've faced storms before, and you're still here, standing tall. Think back to a time when everything seemed to collapse, when the weight of the world pressed down on you, but somehow, you found a way through. That was you, your heart, your resilience, your fire. That's why this betrayal, as painful as it is, won't be your end. I've seen you rise before, and I know you'll rise again. This shadow, this notebook, this plan, they're real, but they're not your destiny. They're just a chapter, a moment in your story, and I'm here to tell you that the next chapter is already taking shape. It's a chapter of strength, of victory, of you stepping into a light brighter than you can imagine. Let's talk about what's waiting for you. You've been staring at a closed door, haven't you? A door that slammed shut, leaving you hurt, confused, maybe even lost. Maybe it was a friendship that ended in betrayal, a job that vanished without warning, a dream that seemed to slip through your fingers. You've been sitting there, replaying the pain, wondering if you'll ever find your way again. But while you've been focused on that closed door, something else has been happening. A new door is forming, just ahead, ready to swing open. This new door isn't like the last one. It's not built on false promises or hidden traps. It's a door to something real, something good, something that will fill your heart with hope and purpose. You might not see it clearly yet, but it's there, closer than you think. The pain of that closed door? It's real, but it's not your future. It's just the push you needed to step towards something greater. You're stronger than you know. You've walked through fire before, and you've come out shining. This betrayal, this shadow, this notebook, they're no match for you. They thought they could break you, but they don't know the strength in your heart. They don't know the light that burns inside you, the fire that refuses to go out. And they don't know that I'm here, speaking to you, guiding you, reminding you of who you are. So stand up, my friend. Shake off the hurt. Let go of the weight of that closed door. The shadow's plan is falling apart, and your victory is rising. You're not just going to survive this, you're going to thrive. You're going to step through that new door into a season where everything starts to align. The struggles you've faced? They've been shaping you, preparing you for this moment. Feel that shift in the air? That's change coming. That's the tide turning in your favor. What's been working against you is about to start working for you. The challenges you've faced, the tears you've cried, the nights you thought you couldn't go on, they've all been building something in you. Something unbreakable. Something unstoppable. You've learned to keep going when others would have stopped. You've found strength you didn't know you had. You've grown through every trial, every setback, every moment that tried to pull you down. And now, it's time to step into what's next. Your season of struggle is ending. Your time of victory is beginning. Don't let the weight of this moment shake you. Don't let the sting of betrayal dim your light. You're not made to break, you're made to rise. The pressure you feel? It's not here to crush you. It's here to push you higher, to shape you into something even stronger. You're like a diamond, formed in the heat, shining brighter because of it. Let's take a moment to reflect on your journey. Every step you've taken, every tear you've shed, every time you chose to keep going, it's all brought you here. You've faced battles that would have stopped others cold. You've climbed mountains that seemed impossible, crossed valleys that felt endless, faced giants that looked unbeatable. But you didn't stop. You kept moving, kept fighting, kept believing. That's why you're still here, still standing, still shining. This shadow, this person who thought they could outsmart you, underestimated you. They saw your kindness and mistook it for weakness. They saw your trust and thought it was an opening. But they don't know the fire in your soul. They don't know the strength that runs through you, the resilience forged in every trial you've faced. They thought their notebook, their secrets, their plan would be enough to bring you down. They were wrong. Let's revisit that alley for a moment. Picture it again, the shadow handing over the notebook, the person waiting with that cold, calculated look. They thought that moment was their triumph. They thought they had you. But they didn't see the bigger picture. They didn't see the strength you carry, the light that surrounds you, the purpose that drives you. They didn't see me, standing with you, guiding you, protecting you. That notebook? It's just paper. It's just words. It's just a moment in time. But you? You're a force. You're a story still being written, a life still unfolding, a heart still beating with hope and courage. Their plan might sting, but it won't stop you. Their betrayal might hurt, but it won't define you. You're bigger than their schemes, stronger than their lies, brighter than their darkness. Now, let's look ahead. That new door I mentioned? It's not just a door, it's a gateway to a life you've been dreaming of. A life where your heart is full, where your steps are steady, where your dreams start to take shape. You've been through the fire, and now it's time for the harvest. Everything you've sown, every moment of faith, every act of courage, every choice to keep going, it's all coming back to you, multiplied. You might feel like you're still in the shadow of that closed door, still carrying the weight of what happened. But let me tell you, that door wasn't your destiny. It was just a detour, a lesson, a moment that shaped you for what's coming. The real journey is ahead, and it's brighter than you can imagine. You're not defined by what you've lost, you're defined by what you're about to gain. Think about the times you've overcome before. Maybe it was a heartbreak that left you shattered, but you pieced yourself back together. Maybe it was a failure that felt like the end, but you found a new beginning. Maybe it was a moment when you felt alone, but you discovered strength you didn't know you had. Those moments weren't accidents. They were training grounds, preparing you for this moment, equipping you for the victory that's coming. The shadow in your life, the one who tried to bring you down, doesn't get to write your story. They don't get to decide your future. You do. And you're not alone in this. I'm here, speaking to you, reminding you of the truth. You are enough. You are strong. You are capable. You are destined for more than you can see right now. Let's paint a new picture. Imagine a morning where the air feels different, lighter, fresher, full of possibility. You wake up, and instead of the weight of yesterday, you feel a spark of hope. You step outside, and the world seems to hum with opportunity. That's what's coming for you. A new day, a new season, a new chapter where the things that once held you back start to fall away. The Shadow's plan? It's unraveling. The Notebook? It's losing its power. The betrayal? It's becoming a stepping stone to something greater. You've been through the darkness, but you're made for the light. You've faced the storm, but you're built for the calm that follows. Every challenge you've faced has been shaping you, strengthening you, preparing you for what's next. You're not just a survivor, you're a warrior. You're not just standing, you're rising. And this moment, right now, is where it all begins. Let's talk about the lies the Shadow tried to plant in your heart. They wanted you to believe you're not enough, that your dreams are too big, that your mistakes define you. But those are just words, just whispers in the dark. The truth is louder, stronger, brighter. You are enough. Your dreams are within reach. Your mistakes? They're just lessons, not chains. The Shadow's lies can't hold you, because you were made to break free. Picture yourself standing at the edge of a river. On one side is everything you've been through, the pain, the betrayal, the closed doors. On the other side is where you're going, a place of peace, of purpose, of joy. The river looks wide, the current strong, but you don't have to swim alone. There's a bridge, sturdy and sure, built from every moment you chose to keep going, every time you refused to give up. Step onto that bridge, my friend. Cross it with confidence, because what's waiting on the other side is worth every step. You're entering a season where the pieces start to fit together. The dreams you've held on to, the hopes you've carried, the prayers you've whispered, they're not lost. They're taking root, ready to bloom. The Shadow thought they could steal your future, but they didn't know your strength. They didn't know your heart. They didn't know that every step you've taken has been leading you to this moment. Let's talk about the fire inside you. It's always been there, even when you couldn't feel it. It's the spark that kept you going when the nights were long, when the road was hard, when the world felt heavy. That fire is your strength, your passion, your purpose. The Shadow tried to douse it, but they couldn't. They tried to dim it, but it burns brighter than ever. And now, it's time to let that fire shine. You're not just stepping into a new season, you're stepping into a new version of yourself. A version that's stronger, wiser, braver. A version that knows what it's like to face betrayal and still stand tall. A version that's ready to walk through that new door and claim the life that's waiting. The Shadow's plan was meant to break you, but instead, it's building you. It's pushing you toward a future that's bigger, brighter, better than anything you've imagined. Let's take another step back to that alley, one last time. The Shadow thought that moment was their victory, but they didn't see what I see. They didn't see the strength in your heart, the light in your soul, the destiny in your steps. They thought they could control the story, but they forgot who's really in charge. You're not a pawn in their game, you're the hero of your own story. And this story? It's far from over. The notebook they carried, the secrets they gathered, the plan they made, it's all crumbling now. Because you're here, listening, standing, rising. You're not defined by their betrayal. You're defined by your resilience, your courage, your refusal to give up. You're defined by the light that shines through you, even in the darkest moments. So what's next? You keep moving forward. You let go of the pain, not because it wasn't real, but because it doesn't get to hold you back. You step toward that new door, not because it's easy, but because it's yours. You hold your head high, not because you're perfect, but because you're chosen, you're loved, you're unstoppable. Feel the shift around you? That's the world turning in your favor. That's the tide of change rushing in. What's been working against you is starting to work for you. The struggles you've faced, the tears you've cried, the battles you've fought, they've all been preparing you for this moment. You're not just surviving, you're thriving. You're not just standing, you're soaring. Let's talk about the mountains you've climbed. They looked impossible, didn't they? Steep, jagged, towering over you like they'd never move. But you climbed them. Maybe you stumbled, maybe you fell, but you kept going. You found paths where there were none, held on when your hands were tired, pushed forward when your heart was heavy. Those mountains didn't stop you, they shaped you. They made you stronger, braver, ready for what's next. And the valleys? They were deep, weren't they? Dark, lonely, endless. But you crossed them. You walked through the shadows, through the doubts, through the moments when you weren't sure you'd make it. And yet, here you are. You made it. You're stronger for it, wiser for it, ready for the next chapter because of it. The shadow thought they could trap you in that valley, bury you in that darkness. They thought their notebook, their secrets, their plan would be enough to keep you there. But they didn't know you. They didn't know the strength in your bones, the fire in your heart, the light in your soul. They didn't know that you were made to rise, made to shine, made to overcome. So here's what you do now. You take a deep breath, and you let go of the weight of that betrayal. You let go of the pain of that closed door. You let go of the lies the shadow tried to plant in your heart. And you step forward, toward that new door, toward that new season, toward the life that's waiting for you. It's not just a new chapter, it's a new book, and you're the one writing it. You're entering a time where everything starts to fall into place. The dreams you've held on to, the hopes you've carried, the prayers you've whispered, they're all coming together. The shadow's plan is unraveling, and your victory is rising. You're not just going to walk through that new door, you're going to run through it, with your head high and your heart full. Picture this, a field stretching out before you, wide and open, bathed in golden light. The air is warm, the sky is clear, and every step you take feels lighter, freer, stronger. This is where you're headed. This is what's waiting for you. The shadow thought they could keep you in the dark, but they didn't know you were made for the light. They thought they could break you, but they didn't know you were built to rise. You've been through the fire, but you're not burned, you're refined. You've been through the storm, but you're not drowned, you're cleansed. You've been through the betrayal, but you're not broken, you're stronger than ever. This is your moment, your season, your time to shine. So stand tall, my friend. Let go of the past, and step into the future. The shadow's plan is falling apart, and your story is just beginning. The best is yet to come, and it's coming for you. Keep going, keep believing, keep shining. You're unstoppable, and nothing, not a shadow, not a notebook, not a betrayal, can change that.